Isn't that charming? Puts a new meaning to the term rocking horse. I found this in Nuremberg at the toy fair in 2011. So these are 10-year-old toys I'm finding. Very, very nice one. That very nicely made, and just sits on the table when you finish with playing with it. Huh. Here's something that a friend found in South London in Clapham. These are ordinary British coins. There's the Queen's head. These are twopenny pieces. What was odd about this was some very, very sharky guy decided to do a version of Flyposting. He put advertisements on it. I have no idea what he was actually advertising, what that was all about, £49, but they both had the same advert on it. And he just slapped them on the back of coins. Some people would find them in the change in the pocket when they picked up the coin in that form, but they thought it was a normal coin. It still is a normal coin, but it had a little poster put on it, a little bit of advertising put on the coinage. What about that? Very, very sharp practice, but there we are. Now here's a very, very nice bit of electronics. No, it's LEDs taken to a high level. What it's going to show is about all that set of colours. I'll press it and get it started. It's something you wear on your tie or whatever it is, and you'll find it goes through a series of many more colours than I can ever remember these things doing. I don't know, it's probably only got 3 bulbs in it, but they're mixing the colours so well. So far we've had red followed by green followed by blue. This, if I turn it sideways, so you don't see the centre, is yellow. Then it goes to a very light blue. The other one was more like a navy blue. Give a little pause. Goes to a nice sort of purple colour, that one. I like that. And then it ends up with a sort of whitey colour to finish with. A bit of white, always grey. And then it starts to cycle again with red. So beautiful bit of engineering of LEDs. And just a switch here where you push like that, and it turns it off again, and you wear that on something like that. It's a key fob, actually. Very nicely done. Here's a more complicated thing, which is something where I thought I'd start looking in my collection for mistakes. We've been selling this for many years, and I'll explain in a moment what it does, but this one here was a mistake. We had to send them back again. There were 100, but I kept one back for myself. What it does is the wide and long puzzle shows 2 boxes, a long and a wide puzzle, and a wide box. But the odd thing is, actually, the boxes' lids, or the top of the boxes, are the same in both cases. You've got a little finger hole to push it out with there. Oomph. So if I push them round like that, and put that one there, blow me, it goes from that wide box, it fits in the long, narrow one, and that one fits as well. Isn't that extraordinary? Very, very clever idea. We've had it for 10, 15 years on our website. So I was amazed to discover then they sent us 100 of these, which are all set, as it were. Let me put this around the other way around so you can see the top of the box more clearly. Trying to work out what's going wrong with this. This was set to us, and we had to send all 100 back, except I asked my colleague, can I keep this one because it's a mistake. What they've done, as you can see, this is perfectly good. There's nothing wrong with that. But this one here has got this little thin wedge bit of wood, should be on the other side. It should be put here. And this bit here, this dark bit of wood, should be down there, as that shows. To make that look like that, you've actually got to turn it around like that. And now those roughly exactly, they're showing the same figure. But you don't want to be turning the thing around to get the effect. You want to look at it like that, and it goes from that to that just by changing the pieces off top of the box. You find they both fit into each other. So these have to go back, but I'm keeping this because it's a mistake. I love that. Keeping something with a mistake. Good stuff. This is a very neat thing, which when I first picked it up, I didn't quite understand what's going on. It's a little torch, it shines, but something very clever about this. What happens is you fix this on your belt, or I'll put it on my braces here, like that. Whoosh. And then when I want to illuminate something down here, I don't need to take it off. All I need to do is pull and pull and pull and pull and pull. And there's a long thread, and I can now illuminate my fingernail if I want to illuminate my fingernail, or illuminate something on a bit of paper down there or something like that. But look how neat that is. It's a tiny, tiny little torch with a cord in it, and when I gently release it, it goes back again because it's a wind-up thing. There's a wind thing inside. I'll take it off and show it to you. And this is a very neat bit of engineering. That's how it starts. It stays like this, and it pulls out like that. And there's a reel inside there which gets that long. And the battery itself is there, and that's where it lights up. So a very neat idea for a torch that. Woof, it goes a long way. Here's a very clever optical illusion which Ken Brecker sent me, which has been known for about 100 years, Benham wheel. This is a nice version of it, and I've forgotten just how clever it is when you make it go both ways. The idea is you just got two colours, well, you know, if you call them colours, lack of colours, black and white and nothing else. You do get colour appearing though when you do an action like that. Just spin it. Let's get it a little bit closer to the camera. You know, I want to get it nice and steady. And another one. There we are. What's interesting about this though, as well as the tiny bit of colour which is almost invisible, is the inner three rings are deep black, then there's grey, and this is a kind of vague brick magenta colour. Very interesting, yet they're not actually there. The interesting thing is when I spin it the other way with the other hand, they reverse, and that's something I'd forgotten. Spin it the other way. Now the three black ones in the middle have moved to the outside. There we are, three black rings on the outside. The grey ones are still in the middle, three of them, and those little grey brick, the little raised brick ones have gone from the outside to the inside one. Watch again when I spin it the other way. The black's got to come in the centre, and the grey brick ones are going to go on the outside. There we are, three black ones in the middle, and the magenta ones on the outside. Wonderful, and yet there's only black and white actually there. Where's the grey come from, where's the magenta come from, and so on and so on. But the idea of spinning and returning it is very, very subtle. So, good one. This is just a bit of fun. Jumping discs of a new sort, which I've never seen before. We do sell jumping discs on our website, but this is one where you just have to squeeze it like that. You've got to squeeze it really quite hard in order to get it to stabilise, and then drop it from a little height, and it goes, woo! Up it goes. Let's try the other one. Quite sharp edge, so they put a nice bit of rubber around it to make it a little more customer friendly, so you won't hurt your fingers on the side issue. But you've got to squeeze that quite hard. It's a very strong spring. Woo! And it flips up in the air. Not quite so high as the jumping discs, but fun and much more substantive. You really feel that's a strong bit of steel in there. Clickers, I call them, those clickers. Here's a very strange ball. This is most peculiar. It lights up, which is, you probably can't see that well in the dark, but these things are peculiar because these things actually pull out. If I put my fingers there, I can pull them out like that. And yet they go back in again. So if I spin it, they flip out and do something. Look at that. It looks as though it's growing legs or something. And if I throw it in the air, look at that. Isn't that bizarre? If I bang it, now perhaps you can see up the camera, we've got a flashing LED. In the dark, this looks really spectacular. Except in the dark, you can't see those bizarre flippy bits coming out from spirals, but you can do that in the daylight. So it's a very, very bizarre ball, and it bounces as well. So lots of play value, but those are very bizarre. I've never seen them before or since on balls. So this is, 10-year-old ball, and it's still going incidentally. I can't get at the battery very easily to replace them, but these springy bits will last forever. It's very strange and very interesting. I love things which are wacky. The last item to show is these little charming buzzy things, which I do like. They've got little legs on the bottom, and you have to set them so that they're all, well, if you had the back ones pointing backwards, and then these ones I have going sideways like that. So this one now, when I turn it on, it buzzes away. Put it this way up, and it'll gently go round in a sort of a circle. Come on, you've got to come round, that's right, like that, and a bit more like that. This one, by contrast, I'll set that one going, it's going to go around on really quite a tight circle. Look at him. Now they're going to buzz around each other. Oh, well, that's all right. So lots and lots of fun for kids, and if you just alter the position of the legs, you can make it go other ways. This one will go straight across now. Do that. It'll go roughly in a straight line. Well, roughly. And to turn them off, just flip like that, and it's stationary. This one's going to have a little buzz like that underneath. Very powerful motors, those, I may say, but a lot of fun. So for children, there's a lot of play value there, and they feel lovely in the hand, the way they buzz like that. 2011 case was good stuff, and this is very much the second best that I've had from the case, but gosh, variety, variety, variety.